Hey everyone, it's Jeannie, and today I am sharing my planner. I am using the Archer & Olive A5 notebook for 2022. I had started using Archer & Olive notebooks last year for the entire year, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ability to mix my craft making supplies into my planner, and that's exactly what I'm doing here for this year's planner as well. For the first page, I don't really love how it folds, so I always glue them together, and that's just a preference. You can definitely use the first page if you want, but I just went ahead and glued it together and started with a full page for my cover page. What I'm doing is I decided to use this PinkFresh Studio Cosmo Bunch stamp set, and I am creating a border with washi just to mask off that area. This stamp is a little bit bigger, so I don't have acrylic block that fits it, so I used one of my cutting plates. You can use whatever you have. The stamp will stick to it. And this is also helpful because it is clear, so I can see where I'm going to be stamping it, and I am stamping it with Fadeout ink. I'm using Fadeout ink because it's a no-line coloring ink, and I just wanted something really light to mark off the areas where I will be using the stencils. There are coordinating stencils, and there are 5 of them. They are layering stencils, so it really colors in the entire image for me, and I don't really have to do too much. I will be using this floral for my first 2 pages, which are very minimalistic because I found that when I created my bullet journal last year, I added a bunch of pages that I didn't end up using, and I used more of the things day to day versus the ones that I need to refer back to. And I do actually have a collections planner where these are lists of things that I plan to do over the course of a year. The Archer & Olive journal I usually use for about 6 months because these are really thick pages and there's not as many pages as the things I use it for. So I always switch over to a second journal for the second half of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and stencil everything up. It makes it so easy. You definitely can color this in, but I don't use Copic markers in my Archer & Olive planner because it will bleed. So I tend to stick with inks, and this year I'm challenging myself to use gouache in my planner. So we'll see how that goes. I decided that I didn't want to do that for this image because I had the coordinating stencils and I thought it would be perfect to use. I will also mirror this floral on the other corner, and I will do the exact same thing. Once I stencil up both the images, I am actually going to go in with Lawn Fawn's Hippo ink, and this is a gray ink that just will darken up all the details of the stamp onto my journal. And even though you can see it in person, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it does add the little details around the florals. So I decided to line my pages with some gold striped washi that I have on hand. I have a ton of washi. I just used that. I thought I wanted to add some gold accents to it. For my lettering, I went and used a Mama Elephant Number It die for the numbers. I used it as a stencil and just drew in the numbers. And I'm gonna go with a quote that I found online. It actually says it's a beautiful day to go after your dreams, but I decided that since I'm using it for my 2022 cover, I wanted it to say it's a beautiful year to go after your dreams. Because of the gold washi, I decided that I wanted to add a few gold accents here and there, so I'm just drawing lines. I'm using the Pear Blossom Press Essential Pens. It comes with 3 pens, I believe. I think it's the black, white, and gold, and I'm using the gold one here for all the little accents, and I'm just using my micron pen for the black lines. For the gold accents of the florals, there are some stems and such that aren't colored in, and that's where the stamping comes in play. I can see them because of my gray stamped image on top of the stenciled image, so I'm gonna go cover them up with a little bit of gold. I'm also adding some gold accents just to the numbers and doing a drop shadow. So I just do that really quickly because I want everything to tie together by using that gold, and I think it's just really pretty to add a few gold accents. They're very subtle, but I think that it just adds to the entire look. So I really wanted to incorporate my card making supplies into my planner because I find my planner to be a creative outlet as well. I am hoping to actually use my planner for a lot of gouache painting this year, and I know that this paper isn't watercolor paper, but it works pretty well. And I've experimented in it already for January, so stay tuned for that. Here is the second page, and this is the only setup that I do for my 2022 bullet journal, and I'm just doing a future log. A future log is a calendar at a glance of the entire year, and you can add in the dates that you are looking forward to, the items that won't go into your planner right away. You'll be able to plan out the entire year at a glance. So I just used some stamps here. I had some Sweet Stamp Shop calendar stamps. They don't sell them anymore because they're no longer a stamp company that sells products, but I have an alternative. It's from Inkblot Shop. It's the same thing, calendar stamps that you can use, and I'm just not one to write everything out. I know some people find it therapeutic, but I always mess up and I rather not. So once I have everything stamped out, I just wrote out all the months, and I'm going to actually mark off the middle area. And that middle area is going to be filled in with the same PinkFresh Studio Cosmo Bunch stamp. I'm stamping it one way on the left hand, and then I'm flipping it over for the other way just to give it a little bit of variety on the right hand side. So I started out doing the same thing, stamping in the no line ink. It's very light, you can't really see it, but that just helps me place the stencils and ink it up, which I do pretty quickly, and it's so easy to do. And I do the same thing where I stamp it with the darker gray ink, the Lawn Fawn Hippo at the end, just to add the details. So once I remove that washi, I will go ahead and use these Altenew Thick and Thin Alpha Dyes to write in future log. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp them. I don't stamp them very well. It's not as dark as I wanted it to look. So I actually go in with a pen and rewrite it just to make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to go in with the gold pen again to add the little accents to the stems, just to add in the gold elements. I did do some lining here and there with the gold pen as well. And then I'm going to go in with a white pen to do a drop shadow to make the leather stand out just a little bit more, because I thought that it kind of got lost with the colorful background, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks so pretty, and it actually gave me an idea for a card. So I thought that this looked a little unfinished, so I just added lines all around the calendar. I am so happy with how this turned out. I didn't think that I needed to create too many pages, and this is just the 2 pages I created to start off my 2022 planner. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little different from my usual, but I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!